private sector economists revised their downward inflation forecasts for 2024 and 2025. According to a Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas survey of private economists, the average estimate for 2024 inflation was adjusted to 3.5%, slightly lower than the previous estimate of 3.6%. Additionally, the forecast for 2025 was also revised downwards to 3.4%, compared to the previous projection of 3.6%. Filipinos could only hope that this outlook is realized and perhaps even outdone, as rising prices have been hurting consumers. According to Moody's Analytics, the elevated inflation is now eroding savings rates in Asia Pacific. It's also worth noting that the number of Filipino adults with savings had already dropped by 25%, from 38.6 million in 2019 to 28.9 million in 2021, due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. How can Filipinos save money during times of high inflation? Let's discuss that further on today's agenda.
Vince Rapisura is a known financial expert in the country. In 2004, Rapisura established the Social Enterprise Development Partnerships, or SEDPI, a company that provides financial literacy trainings to overseas Filipino workers. SEDPI is present in 15 countries worldwide.
Good morning, Vince. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, good morning, Cito. It's nice to be back.
I'm just curious, what is the situation of our overseas Filipino workers in terms of income, in terms of savings, and in terms of outlook?
It's not just here in the Philippines that we have high inflation. Maski sa ibang bansa, mataas din talaga ang inflation nila. So, what's happening really is they're having difficulty managing the income that's coming in because prices of goods and services keep on going up.
Yung bang mga OFW natin nagbawas na rin sa padala?
Unfortunately, yung ating remittance is steadily growing, pero it doesn't go to savings and investments. It really goes to expenses, basic needs of the family. So they need to send more of their hard-earned income, no, to finance their basic needs here in the Philippines.
What about the people you work with or deal with here in the Philippines? What have you been advised?
To be able to save, dalawang bagay yan eh. Either you increase your income or decrease your expenses. Pero alam natin talaga, Cito, na sagad na tayo sa paghihigpit ng sinturon. Kaya ako ang mas ifobra natin ay itong pag-increase ng income. Kasi yung pag-increase ng expenses, very little yung kaya nating gawin dyan. At hindi nakakaganda ng loob eh, yung tinitipid mo yung sarili mo. So,
yeah. Vince, I don't want to be contrabida, Vince, but all the experts that I have been following globally have said the solution of increasing your income is a myth, or at best is just capacitating you to spend more. Kumbaga, tama ka, increase natin yung income, dapat lang, pero ang problema kung bad spender ka, anong increase ang gawin mo, uubusin mo din yan dahil yun yung sakit mo, yung gasta, hindi yung kita.
Right. Actually, it really goes together naman. Coupled dapat yung pag-increase in income mo ng financial literacy. Dapat talaga marunong kang humawak ng pera. Ang traditional na ginagawa natin...
Pagtitipid, bumaluktot, at para magkasya sa kumot.
Sa akin, maganda mag-create ka ng ibang mga side hustles mo to complement. Gaya ng sinabi mo kanina, pagtaas ng kuryente. What opportunities yung kaya mong gamitin, yung kuryente? Meron kang refrigerator dyan sa bahay, edi maglagay ka ng ice at magbenta ng ice, no? O pwedeng ganun. Use existing resources that you have to create some more income. Meron kang oven sa bahay, hindi nagagamit, gagamit ng kuryente yan. May stock ka na flour, no? Maybe you can bake something and sell it. So these are things that you can do to increase your income a little bit rather than nakatenga siya. Another way of looking at it, kunwari yung pagtaas ng gasolina, meron kang sasakyan, may motorsiklo ka, you can enter what what we call that transport vehicle network services.
People say I constantly criticize government. Sabi ko, I'm not criticizing government.
Yun yung sinasabi, malaki talaga yung role ng government on this. I visited some friends here in Davao at yung pinag-usapan nga namin kagabi na bring up no na in the health sector, malaki talaga yung expenses dyan. Well, that's what the universal health care is there. Kasi ang nangyayari pa rin dito on the ground is, doon sa ospital, may desk ang mga politiko. At doon pupunta yung mga tao para makakuha ng subsidy para sa kanilang pagpapagamot. At sabi ko, although the intention is good, but it's not structural at nagkakaroon tayo ng utang na loob dun sa politiko na dapat wala.
Kumbaga, take advantage of what's available.
Yes, pero dapat, ang sinasabi ko rin structurally, dapat wala talaga yan sa mga politiko. Ang kinukuha daw si mga congressman. Legislative tong mga to. Sabi ko, paano nila i-liquidate yan? Saang banda ng budget sa legislature yung may pagpapagamot? Yun talaga yung nagiging problema rin structurally for us. That's why I said a while ago na hindi lang nakasalalay sa shoulders natin yung pagtaas ng bilihin, hindi tayo nakakasave, yung pagliit ng income natin. There are also ways that the private sector, the government can do, pero we also have our responsibilities.
Prices are getting out of hand and Filipinos are suffering nutritionally, mentally, financially. Bakit ba lahat ng mga financial experts talagang inuuna yan? Yung unahin nyo, yung listahan nyo sa grocery.
Oh, unahin talaga yung listahan sa grocery kasi kapag nililista mo yung mga kailangan mong bilhin sa grocery, na you prevent yourself from overspending and you plan ahead. Basic need yan kakainin natin. And we need work, no? And we can function. That will generate income for us.
Former DTI secretary who told me privately, Cito, mas mura sa grocery pare kaysa sa mga palengke. Kasi sa palengke, ang dami nang pumatong-patong doon sa produkto. Akala mo lang mura kasi hindi naka-aircon, public market, parang nakakatawad ka. Pero hindi mo matatawaran yung mga patong ng mga nauna.
Right. Actually, ang sasabihin ko, ang pinakamura na experience ko kasi dito sa Mindanao farm gate. Pero ang observation ko naman between the public markets and the supermarkets, there are goods na mura sa public market, sa wet market, at mas mura naman sa supermarkets. Usually mga dry goods mas mura sa supermarkets, pero mga gulay, isda, usually mas fresh yan sa public market at saka mas mura. Based on my observation.
What area, specific area, has the highest impact the minute you control it for your budgets and your finances?
Yung biggest impact niyan, if you're able to budget, talaga, makakapag-ipon tayo. Sa pag-iipon, dapat hindi na ito pinag-iisipan. You should already have established an automatic system to be able to do this. Kung meron kayong mga bank accounts, for example, mag-online banking na, mag-schedule transfer na pagpasok ng income mo, papunta na sa emergency savings agad.
I call it automate your saving. Basta it is a no limitang here account.
Touch me not. Kung available sa banks, pwede din naman na yung employer mo mismo kausapin mo na pwede ba nakaltasan ka and deposit this immediately to another bank account. We operate a social enterprise. We have about 120 employees and very proud kami na walang salary loan sa office because the moment that they come in and get employed in our organization, encourage savings. So if you agree to save 10% of your salary, we will match that with 5%. No-brainer to all of them. Lahat nagsisave.
Pero sandali, hindi ka ba tinatamaan doon? Kasi, other bosses would say, well, that's highly commendable, but 5%, what's in it for you?
Our ethos is, we believe that if people are properly compensated, they become more loyal to the company, they have more grit to work, at actually iwas sa fraud. Kasi they're getting what they need. Ganyan na rin yung pag-iingat nila at pag-care nila sa kumpanya.
There's a reduction in fraud or integrity issues because they're invested in the organization.
Yes, we reward good performance. May incentives pa yung mga yan. As a private sector, we laid down the appropriate policies so that they are encouraged to save. Instead na mangungutang pangpabinyag, magtatagot ng business si misis, mangungutang, they withdraw.
Last tip.
Surround yourself with people who save and invest. Humanap ka ng mga good influence sa buhay mo. Kung yung mga kasama natin sa trabaho, in our community, ay nangungutang ng sobra-sobra o kaya overly spending, baka iwas-iwas muna tayo. Or encourage our group na mag-save and mag-invest. Nakikita ko rin on the ground, parang tabu yung pag-uusap ng tungkol sa pera. Pero dapat inormalize natin siya na lahat tayo kailangan natin to at kailangan nating pag-aralan at pagtulungan.
That's very true, Vince, kasi sinabi ko na rin yan. You know, I retired from the car restoration hobby. Ayoko nang mag-attend ng mga car shows na yan or hang out with people with cars kasi may inggit ka lang. So same thing with hanging out with fashionistas or even in the cellphone culture, di ba? Pag ang mga tropa mo puro mahilig ng upgrade, mapipilitan ka. Inggit will drive you to buy what you cannot afford. So you're so correct there.
Ako, naisip ko dyan to address at kung gusto mo talaga ng lifestyle na ganyan, then make a business out of it. Bentahan mo yung mga kasamahan mo ng mga goods na yan. So you can afford.
Well, Vince, we've run out of time, but of course, I'm sure we will be seeing each other again on air. And if not, hopefully one of these days we can have coffee. But in the meantime, have fun there in Davao.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.